morning. Yeah, I'm going there today. And I know y'all like cooking mama. Yeah. I'm trying to find something. My mama, I can try to get my mom to play. Mama, she doesn't do games. My dad, I just did. What game was that? He likes solitaire. My dad likes solitaire. He like card games, so he'll do solitaire. Um, I did Crazy H yesterday, so I'll try to show demo more card games for my pops. But for moms, it's very few in selection. But her sisters, they might, if they watching this video. Shout out to Jerry and Betty, and of course Aunt Dee Dee, right? So, and Aunt Dee is probably the only one that actually play the games. All the other three are real crotchety, right? Aunt Dee is the only one that used to play in television with us. Her and Uncle Tommy, me, Mr. C, and Courtney, L Product, should I say, right? We used to play. Let me do a little bit of this. Not now. So yeah, as you can see, the title screen. Um, it's a cute little game available on your Apple devices. Now that's the problem. My mom has a little iPad, but I don't think Aunt D has a Apple device. They're Android family. So I'm sure it's available on Android too. So Cooking Mama, check it out. Okay. Um, Aunt Jerry, I'm sure she doesn't play at all, and Aunt Betty, Mr. C is her son, so we'll talk more about that beautiful family, and that's my mom's side. And shout out to all my cousins and you know, but yeah, I jumped on just to, I'm trying to do more and more videos. I'm trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. I'm gonna put this one on Facebook too, because that's the station right that my mom watches. So I'm giving her a shout out today, and see if I can get her to check this game out. Of course, the topic is still super egotistical pride. And I started with that because you know we used to. I mean, because I said before, my mom and pop used to be in the basement. The basement party back in the 19. Well, I guess it had to be 1970 because that's the around the time that I came about. They would be in the basement and they would play some, you know, James Brown. You know, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud, right? And then they party and get whatever they party, and then what I mean. Next thing they know, here I come, right? Here I come. Here I am, RAW, a terrorist, here to bring trouble to phony MCs. I move all MCs, I just conquer and crush another rapper with ease. Shout out to Big Daddy Kane! Definitely top 5, right? So, and I gotta add a little hip hop to it, because that's what it is. It's the potential and then gets kinetic. It's the knowledge and then it's the movement. So what's this say here? Oh, Mother's Day event. See, we missed that already. We about to hit Father's Day. Happy Father's, because that's what I'm trying. That's what I facetiously said about this month. Is call it Manhood Month. This is father. This is the not. I'm serious when I say fatherhood of God, brotherhood of man, because that's what we need more of in order to get this nation back in order. So I'm just had to get serious for a second, but back to Cooking Mama. You know, ingredient combos added, then try them in the kitchen. Okay, so yeah, it's a cooking game. I used to play this with Nene when she was 4 years old. So this is also a shout out to my little niece that kind of made me a girl dad, should I say? Or she helped me understand the girl dad. So I do give. I have several friends on Facebook that have little girls, and we going through this war right now, and it's corny. It's very, very corny, and it's been promoted, or it's been ignored, should I say, neglected by the Democratic Party. They're the main party that neglected father, wife, son, daughter, right? Like for a white family, it's a beautiful thing, right? Yeah, they really don't promote the black family doing that. Except, they do promote interracial marriage, and I'm talking about the Republicans, right? But and the Democrats claim to do the same thing, but they could, they're more immigrants. So that way, that's the new black family, is the immigrants, and therein is where we as foundational black Americans is like, once again, yeah, y'all neglecting what we need. We've been complaining about over 70% of our children, talking about foundational black Americans, growing up in single parented homes, and all your legislation, all your economics, all of your spirituality, because you're putting the LGBTQIA plus .pdf files at the forefront of spirituality, and it's like, we don't want that in our churches. So you go to your churches, and it's why you can't exclude them, and then you find yourself excluding the fatherhood of God, brotherhood of man. It is that simple of an idea and concept, and that's why I shared the little video of Mark Lamont Hill and his hypocrisy, and saying that, it was the goal was to, as an offshoot, was to get the man out the house type thing, and it's just like, man, this dude's such an ignorant hypocrite. I'm trying to be nice. I spit on the ground in front of Mark Lamont. He's not invited to the cookout still, right? Anybody else is coming. Even whose podcast was that? He's invited because he knows. I can't remember his name. I should know his name. Joe Budden's podcast. I really don't watch his podcast. He's a cool dude. I ain't got beef with him. Is he up there with who Common? I guess, but I like Common a little better, right? Like that's Common was the first person that popped in my head, because that's like the battle. That will be the battle: Common versus Joe Budden, right? But I always show a little favoritism. I do show a little more favoritism than Common. And their careers are kind of the same, similar, but Common was more in line with the crew, and we'll get more into what that crew is later on. We're still figuring out the top 10 groups or of all time, yada yada. Yeah, I'm supposed to be playing this game, right? Monday only. What's this say? I ain't got time for that. So yeah, you go in the kitchen. I've been getting a lot of salmon. Oh, okay, I don't know that. I don't understand. So I can't cook salmon yet. See, I'm still early. Just squid. Can't get that yet either. Yeah, see, I'm low level, so I got to learn how to cut tomatoes. Yeah, see, I got real basic stuff, So let's try cutting tomatoes. Let's learn how to cut first. See? There we go. And it's funny because I was working at a restaurant, and during the pandemic, y'all was doing a lot of odd jobs, and they had me on the machine cutting tomatoes, and starting back at Page. I used to work at shout out to Dan Trusty too, because Dan got me that job at Old Country Buffet way back in the day, and they started me off in pantry, and I worked my way up to the baker, and they was starting to put me on the line, and You know what I mean? I had to go back to school. So, and that's when, I went back to Kutztown and eventually got my degree. So, and there it is. That's all I really wanted to rap about today. I mentioned we're still on the same thought. Super egotistical pride, and me cutting back a little bit on, like, yeah, I'm using several Apple devices right now. Well, two Apple devices. I got an iPhone 7, iPhone 14, and I'm using Apple TV box, and they're old now. Well, the 14 is only a year old, but and it's like I'm not bragging about these things. In fact, I still owe on this phone, um, the 14 phone. So it's me trying to, I'm not bragging, and I'm seeing the same thing with the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, I don't take these people, like, everybody got a Switch 2. I'm happy for y'all. I want one myself. Um, but we got haters that it's like, I can't afford it, so I'm gonna hate on it. You know, like that. Even like, you got a laptop. I'm like, yeah, but this laptop that I got, I gotta get a new battery for it. The OS, I heard that the new operating system, the new Windows isn't going to work on it, so it's about to be obsolete. But now I'm hearing that they're going to have a dumbed down version of the operating system, so it will work on it, so I can extend the life of it. And you know what I mean. I still want me either. I don't want an iMac. I want a Mac Mini, but I want the studio. But I can't. Like, I got to get these numbers right, and and you can't even. I mean, we're in a. You have to really think about that. We're in a society right now where you're not even allowed to brag about your job, right? It's like, yeah, I'm the CEO of. Like, you're not allowed to do that. You're not even really allowed to tell people. For one, your life would be in danger if you say you're just the CEO, and so yeah, I was trying to get a job at Home Depot, for example, for the past 4 years. Well, 4 years ago, once I, you know, was wrongfully terminated and yada yada, I still got to fight with that battle. But yeah, it would have been cool working at Home Depot, getting a little discount. At least I'd have had a nice little cash flow or whatever, and been able to buy some lumber and build a new wall in my house. But it's like I have deep competition, and it's like, all right, these people aren't really my competition. It's just, I'm just trying to work, get some pay, and build. But it's if I'm in the media, right? Like, that's what they trying to say that this is being in the media. And I go, well, Home Depot needs to do this or that, and criticizing Home Depot, I can get terminated at work. Like, I mean, seriously, like, this is the society that we're living in right now. Or if I don't talk bad about Lowe's, like, yeah, I had to go. I had to go to Lowe's because Home Depot didn't have it, even though I do work there or whatever, right? It's your the human resource manager might catch a wind of it and fire. Like, this is the actual society that we live in right now, and it's ridiculously stupid. So I'm just, and therein is what super egotistical pride is. It's like, you hating on the smallest things. Like, nah, I don't, like, you got eyelashes on. I don't hate on them. Like, I'm not crazy about women with long eyelashes on that are fake. But it's like, you say one little thing, it's, you're a hater. Like, you know what I mean? Or two guys holding hands. It's like, that's kind of weird, dude. Oh, you're homophobic. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and you have to keep in mind, those are the people that Biden's policies put into leadership positions. So yeah, when I went to a lot of these jobs, it was a gay dude that was the manager or whatever, and I'm working and I'm minding my own business. But once he found out, hey, I'm a loving husband, I'm a father to my son, right, and it's that you can see the hate, like, how is he driving a nice car and I got him in the dish room, like, because you know what I mean, I was wrongfully terminated. I'm trying to get back to where I was at, and these policies is the most discrimination. Like, I can't, just starting a business. I'm trying to do a, online business. You know what I mean? This is one of my businesses, my radio show. So this is my little radio show. This is Mama Cooking. Check it out. It's available on Apple devices. Right now, I still got Nintendo hardware #1, Apple hardware #2. I'm gonna keep it this way too. 3 will be PCs. I might try to do a PC game or something later on, but I might have to emulate it because I don't know if maybe I can share a screen and try to do it that way. So because I do want to get back into like emulating the Commodore 64. I know there's ways to do that legally, so I'm gonna try to do that. So, all right, but there it is. That's another show for y'all. Make sure y'all have a wonderful day. Love God, respect the Lord, seek wisdom. That's it. That's all you really need to do there. One God, our Father all the time. Hip hop, life, love, one. God is love. Hip hop is life. Time is holy. Money. Yeah, be careful. It's nothing more than a fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. Because hip hop is the art of making the most out of life. If you want to call hip hop economics, I guess whatever. But it's time to make the movement right, righteous, not wrong. This has been another quick episode. How many minutes did I give y'all? 16 minutes. Perfect. Another quick episode. You know what I mean? Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace, compassion, happiness.